A massive supply shock continues for Bitcoin as we've now passed the 19 millionth Bitcoin ever to be mined. At the same time, we are seeing massive amounts of Bitcoin being swept off of centralized exchanges, dumped into cold wallets. This is the kind of moon juice that you need to get up to the $1.3 million Bitcoin price prediction that I'm also going to be covering in today's video. Also some fun inflation news, because inflation's always a good time, obviously. So make sure to stick around till the end of the video to get all of the goods. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. If you do like that topic, if you do like stay up to date with what's happening in the cryptocurrency space, a little tap on the thumbs up button, let me know. That would be super freaking awesome. By the way, every single week my team and I make Wealth Master. It's a cryptocurrency investor report. We got DeFi tutorials, altcoin reviews, NFTs, interviews with industry leaders, portfolio updates, token sales, airdrops, and much, much more. You can sign up for free using the link down below in the description. Now, let's take a quick look here at the price action for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had this nice little breakout obviously last week. We got rejected at the 200-day simple moving average. Price came back down. We got a nice long wick under this area of price support at $45,500. Got gobbled up pretty nicely, which really shows that the buyers stepped in a serious way to get themselves some more Bitcoin, right? I think there's a lot of people who are thinking that a major breakout is underway. Getting Bitcoin here, likely a good play if we do start pushing higher, get past that 200-day simple moving averages, which will probably then push us up to potentially new all-time highs. We did close above support, the daily candle, so that's nice. Happy to see that. We did have, of course, as I said, a very substantial wick under there, but right now price just trading above this key area of price support. If we lose that, I would look for $42,500 be our next major area. That is where I have my buy orders in case we do get that easing effect, we could say, coming into the market. But I'm rooting for taking the 200-day simple moving average, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, Bitcoin. Anytime now, buddy. Anytime now. Anyway, not a whole lot of super exciting stuff happening in terms of the price action at the moment for Bitcoin. So let's talk about the supply shock, because this is some damn big news. The 19 millionth Bitcoin has been mined. I mentioned last week that was coming up. Well, it has indeed happened. We only have 2 million more, actually less than 2 million now. So 1.9 million and some change of Bitcoin still to be mined. That, of course, is going to happen over the next 120 years approximately. But realistically, by 2032, 90% of this remaining Bitcoin will have been mined. So like 1.8 or 1.9 million Bitcoin will have been mined by 2032. So most of that supply is going to come out during this decade. Now, why does this mean there's a supply shock going on? Well, of course, Bitcoin is massively scarce, but the simple fact of having scarcity doesn't mean a lot without the demand factor, which is why I want to share this with you. This is from the dudes over at Glassnode. This is the Bitcoin exchange net position on all exchanges. So you can see we have just had a monthly outflow of 96,200 Bitcoin. That's a massive number. Now that means, yes, people were sending Bitcoin into exchanges. Yes, people were obviously selling their Bitcoin. The buyers needed to buy it from somebody. But that a total of 96,000 Bitcoin more than was sent into exchanges was taken off of exchanges. That is a huge number. And look, as you can see, these spikes happen from time to time. Likely the next month or two will be a bit slower, for example, or maybe they'll accelerate and we'll get a even bigger amount of Bitcoin being taken off. But these moments of massive Bitcoin outflows tend to be short-lived. There's these big accumulation periods that happen, before big run-ups. For example, as we can see back here in 2021, we had massive amount of accumulation right before, of course, a major run-up. Of course, we can see back here as well, massive amounts of accumulation right before a major run-up, massive amounts of accumulation right before a major run-up. Are you getting the idea here? Now, this is also very interesting because I just want to do the math with you real quick, because this kind of accumulation is absolutely freaking nuts. So With that 96,000 Bitcoin a month leaving exchanges at that rate, there will be 0 Bitcoin left to buy on centralized exchanges by about the end of 2023, maybe sometime early 2024, if that demand of 96,000 Bitcoin a month was to remain constant. It's not going to, but just to give you that framework to work with, just think about how insane that is, that we could literally run out of Bitcoin on exchanges in 2 years. Look, and that's not what's going to happen, right? We're not going to run out of Bitcoin. The reality is that the more demand there is, the higher the price is going to go, right? Imagine once we're down to like 500,000 Bitcoin on centralized exchanges, the demand for that will be so damn high. The price is going to be a heck of a lot higher than it is right now. Now we can also add in here, of course, we have 2 million more Bitcoin to come in by 2032, or 1.8 million Bitcoin by 2032. So that means that all the Bitcoin left to be mined, or all the Bitcoin by 2032, let's say, because that's 90% of the remainder, that is at the current monthly outflow from exchanges, like 18 months, 19 months worth of supply. You might think, 18, 19 months is a long time. Heck, 2023, Lark, what are you talking about, man? That's a long time away, end of 2023. It's really not that long away. I'm planning on holding my Bitcoin for a very, very long time. When 2030 comes around, 2032 comes around, I'm still going to be holding all the Bitcoin that I have today. I'm not selling it. There's no need to sell it. It's wealth preservation tool. It is my inflation hedge. And when you realize that the demand is rising all of the time, new wallet creation is rising all of the time, whales are coming back into the market, institutional interest continues to grow, all this stuff, and there's less and less Bitcoin available for people to buy every single day. And there's a dwindling amount of Bitcoin being created by miners. That sounds like moon juice to me. Now let's talk real quick about inflation. So, inflation hit 7.5% in the Eurozone. Big inflation numbers happening everywhere. 7.9% in the USA. Obviously, basket case countries see 50, 60% inflation rates. But even at 7.5%, you have to remember, your dollars buy half as much every 9 years, which is crushing, absolutely crushing. And as I mentioned in my inflation video, we see certain products outperforming the inflation rates. So German grocers, Lidl, Edeka, Rayway, and Aldi have announced that they'll be raising prices on about 400 products by up to 30% starting from tomorrow. That's a big increase. That's a big, big increase. Inflation, of course, hitting regular people very hard. And it's always the things that people need most, like food and fuel and rent. Rough times for fiat holders. That's why I'm happy to be a Bitcoin holder, because Bitcoin has dramatically outperformed inflation over the last 10 years on a year-to-year basis, and every year except for 2 years over the last 10 years has it dramatically outperformed inflation. The other 2 years, of course, we saw Bitcoin having serious corrections, but for the most part, Bitcoin just going up, supply diminishing, demand rising, the price is going to go up. Gosh darn it. Real quick adoption story to share with you before we get into our $1.3 million Bitcoin price prediction. A gas chain in Australia called OTR has announced that they are going to start accepting Bitcoin payments at their gas stations and, of course, the connected convenience stores that go along with those gas stations. That's more than 100 gas stations across the country that will now be accepting Bitcoin payments. Great news. I love these adoption stories because every single time that a company like this comes out and puts that Bitcoin accepted here sign in the window, it's social proofing Bitcoin as a normal, everyday part of our lives, a normal investment, or a normal thing to hold in your wallet. It's a big deal, and I love it. I love it. Now somebody just needs to go and actually spend their Bitcoin there, man. That's the real challenge. Who's going to spend their Bitcoin? Final story for today. Bitcoin could reach $1.3 million in this scenario, says Van Eck. Particularly, they are talking about a scenario where we see basically Bitcoin and gold becoming the global reserve currencies, which I'm down on that, dude. Let's do it. Let's do it. That sounds way better than these fiat junk currencies. I mean, come on. The US dollar is the global reserve currency. It's you know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. This piece of paper backed up by some countries. Trust us. It's nuts. I'll take gold and Bitcoin any day over that. Now, they're also very bullish on gold. They say gold in this situation could go up to $31,000 per ounce, potentially even $105,000 per ounce. I need to buy some more gold, dude. That's a number. I like that. These guys are speaking my language. I love it. Now, they also say, of course, Bitcoin in this scenario could reach $1.3 million. And may even top $4.8 million using an M2 money supply basis. So that's a pretty big number. That's a pretty big number. Think about it. Bitcoin right now, if it got up to $4.8 million, that's literally 100x still potential on Bitcoin. That's insane. That's a very, very bullish number. Even the $1.3 million is a very, very bullish number. And look, I am convinced Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. Bitcoin is going to rival the market cap of gold currently, right? The market cap of gold could, as these guys say, continue to rise dramatically, especially in a world where the US dollar is slowly but surely starting to lose its edge, with the Saudis taking yuan for oil, with the Russians demanding to be paid in rubles or even Bitcoin for their oil. The world of the petrodollar is much less certain moving into the future. In that world, gold and Bitcoin could be king. I like it. $1.3 million. It's a good number. It's a good number. I'll be happy with $1 million per Bitcoin. Personally, I'll take that. That's enough. That's fine. But the $4.8 million, let's do it. Let's do it. I love it. Van Eck is telling me I'm not bullish enough. Every once in a while it does happen. But I'll take it. I'll take it from those guys. That's okay. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day. You let me know what you think about any of these stories down below in the comment section. What do you think about the prediction in particular? Do you think Bitcoin can ever reach $1.3 million per Bitcoin? Or is that just, bit of craziness, pie in the sky, too nuts, too bullish? Or is that spot on? Are we going to $1.3 million, maybe even $4.8 million Bitcoin at some point? Hit me up down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.